Okay, we are live. That's good. Am I live? That's the question. I am. That's good. Share, copy link. That's good. Okay, let me just post something on Instagram. Remote astrophotography live now on YouTube. And then let's add the link. Boop. Link here. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now we have to wait until it is dark in Spain. And we have to wait or hope that these clouds are not coming in. It should hold a bit more, I hope at least. The all sky camera looks good so far. And the forecast itself is also not very bad. So we have to see. We just have to see. Let me add some music in the background because it's pretty quiet. Just add some. Yep, shut up. Let's add some lo-fi in the background. I think you can't hear that. Okay, I don't want this. Let me delete this for a second. Now I want Bildschirmaufnahme, yes. Okay. Why are you not able to see this or listen to this? No, that's bad. That is not so good. Anyway, okay. Not so important. But in the meantime, we can start the setup. Just turn on the power. Okay, everything is on. Oh, the PC was already on. Okay, let's see. Let's connect to the VPN. Oh, don't do it that big. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. I have to restart this off. Let's wait a second. And on again, please. Thank you. Maybe we get like 1 or 2 hours, but that's enough. More than I would get here in Germany. So bad. Why is this weather page so bad? I want to see the weather here. I mean, the forecast itself is good. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, the PC should be on right now. Okay. Perfect. Let's start Nina. And also the camera on the telescope to actually see something. Oh, it got dark. Okay. Let's push the exposure time a bit. Okay. 1 second. That looks good. Okay, so now we can see my telescope or the camera below the telescope looking at the wall. Okay, Nina started, so let's connect everything. Good evening, Cheetah. I'm sorry. Is it clear there? Yeah, sort of. Let me just show you again the. Well, why is my chat here not showing the messages? Well, then I have to put my chat here. Okay. So, the weather forecast here itself is okay until like 2 a.m. But the real cloud forecast is more like meh. But well, we will see. I've learned in these 3 days where I had some time under the night sky down there that the weather conditions and the forecasts are pretty random sometimes. So especially when you have like clouds in the daytime, you think like, okay, tonight it's not going to be good, but then when it gets dark, the sky just clears up, and then you have all the skies you want. Let me see if the all sky camera has an update. Okay, that's from 2 minutes ago, and it's not too bad. It's pretty much clear all around except for some stuff in the north. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the daytime camera is frozen for some reason. But yeah, this camera always works. Yeah, so what we can do is see if everything has connected, what it seems like. Here in the north of Extremadura, we'll clear at 1/2 a.m. until sunrise. Okay. It's not looking really good on our part of the EU. Some colder weather coming up in the next days. Yeah, cold weather is the key factor for clear skies. If it doesn't get cold, it will just stay rainy and cloudy and bad all the time. Yeah. The forecasts are all over the place. It's pretty frustrating. Okay, a few hours ago I created a sequence with the Rosette Nebula, which I wanted to do tonight. So let's open that. And close this and close this. Yeah, I set up like just over 1 hour per RGB filter, and then lots of data for SHO. And for tonight, I want to disable RGB because I want to start with H alpha. Okay, so we can actually start, because the sequence is built like this. I can show you. So when I start the timer, or when I start the sequence, it will wait until article dusk, which is 19:45, which we, yeah, when I start, you can see it's just 30 seconds away, and then it will open the dome, then wait 50 seconds, then it will open the flat cover and unpark the scope, and yeah, we can see that actually in 20 seconds. So we pull out the camera at the telescope. All right, man. Have a good night. Good luck for some Astro. Okay, the dome should open now, or the shutter. Okay, the flat panel now opened, and yeah, now we should see the roof opening in a few seconds. Yeah, it's getting brighter, and here you can see the roof opening. I love this. This is so cool. And the roof is open. We can actually see at the program from the roof. We can see it is opened at 100% now. So yeah, now it will cool the camera. Let's see. Yeah, now we'll cool the camera until -10 degrees, and then it will wait until nautical dusk, which is in 10 minutes, and then it will start on the target. But we could actually do it a bit later. Just before dark. Or actually, I don't know. I mean, we can start at nautical dusk, so we can see the telescope slewing while it is a bit more bright outside. Let me check the weather forecast again. Not so perfect. But honestly, I would be happy if it develops like this, where this hole here just stays above me for like 2 hours or 3 hours. Every single hour counts, and yeah, it's not really big trouble to wait or to hope. Okay, cooling is almost done. But what we can do is we could, I don't know. Sometimes when I have the time and just sit here, I will always do a 0 position on the mount, just in case. I don't know, just in case it's the wrong word or the wrong wording. I just want to be sure that the mount is 100% sure that it is synced with the night sky, so that it won't slew on the ground or something. But this actually will never happen, I think, because yeah, when the mount is parked, it knows where it is. So yeah, I actually never had issues with the CM70, which I use to, yeah, I don't know, I never had issues with that, so that the mount loses the orientation. What I can show you in the meantime is some images from the place and also some other telescopes. So please Lightroom. Okay. In February. So yeah, that was the accommodation, which actually was really, really nice. It really felt like home. Come on, please. Sometimes my Lightroom is super slow, but I think the file is just too big, because I've been using this Lightroom catalog here for like 6 years now. What you can see here. And I've actually deleted some of the older folders, so yeah. Well, I think it has no interest in showing the images. Well, okay, now it will. It's so cool. We had in the accommodation just a big print of the Orion Nebula here, which actually was really high quality. It was really nice. And on the bottom here, it says 100 hours. The integration, so it was a combination of multiple telescopes and cameras. Yeah, and the quality of the image was really nice. So, yeah, that was the view from, yeah, just outside our home or our house. You have the pool here on the left, and yeah, all the good stuff. That was the entrance of our home for these few days. Yeah, it was really comfortable. There were houses all over the place, which was pretty nice. Yeah, that was the path to our observatory, which is here on the back. This white building here, which is Apollo 2. This is our home where we are when we go inside here. Yeah, which is, yeah, this house here. Apollo 2, Anno 216. Man, this place was built in 2016, which is pretty nice. By the way, is it mostly amateurs there, or there are some scopes bigger than 40 centimeters or some real work? I can show you. This is pretty nice. Just let me show you some of the images here, and then, yeah, we go to the interesting stuff. This was the second night, the second day. My scope was already set up because my pier was built perfectly, or like as we discussed. The problem with the piers from Jens and Sophie was that it was too short, and in the next day, or like in the morning of this day, they had to fix it. So that's why they are just building up, and my setup was already mostly built to the absolute max. Yeah, just some images of the setup. And then on the second day, on the second day or the third day, no, on the third day, we got a tour of the other buildings, which is located a bit further to the north. No, to the south. They have like 16 buildings or something, so it's a pretty huge area. So yeah, you can see here's Apollo 3, Apollo 4, 5, probably 6, 7, and they have some more here on the left, which was pretty cool. This here was the workshop, where they had all kinds of building materials and also some spare parts for everything. And then we went into like, I think it was Apollo 5. Yeah, there was some crazy setups. I think this was a GM 2000. Yeah, some two flat panels. Yeah, it was pretty interesting because, well, they have one or two like the same size flat panels, and the small telescope has a flat panel by itself. So no idea what this setup was really, or what these two are intended for. Yo, Mr. Falls, what's up, man? Very cool to see your setup. Very cool to see you get this set up. Yeah, it was nice, man. It was actually pretty hard and difficult, but on a good way. So we also had a lot of help during the build-up. So it was tight because we only had like 3 days to finish the entire setup and also test everything. And yeah, everything worked pretty well, which was nice. Yeah, what I was pretty surprised with is that they had a lot of Skywatcher mounts. So like the AZ or IZ GT, I don't know if it's called in English like that. So the other EQ6 mount that you can also use in the alt azimuth configuration. This was like a Takahashi 100, TOA 100, I think, or 120. I actually can't remember. Mm-hmm. Is the stream still up? Okay, cool. Weird to see Skywatchers. They have a homing function. I actually don't think so. Um, the so this variation of the Skywatcher mount has encoders built in, but I think they are not meant to home the mount. Actually, I just don't think so, that they are used to home, because a friend of mine had a Skywatcher like this, and he always had problems with it, and they just when the mount loses home, it just freaked out. So yeah, actually, I really was surprised, because my direct neighbor here at the observatory also has a normal EQ6R. Just surprising that this works. Yeah, the next telescope here was a ODK 16 from Orion, I think, which I actually don't know what this telescope is. It's like I think it's not a Schmidt-Cassegrain, it's not a CDK, it's something in between, something like that, with a missing camera on the back. I think it was an FLI camera, so yeah, probably a huge setup. And I find 3 days is usually the bare minimum needed. Yeah, it really was. Last install I did was 5 days, and I installed 3 scopes. It was a nightmare, I can imagine. Yeah, we had 3 full days, and to be honest, not to be honest, and luckily 3 clear nights. Or the first night was fully clear, and I could do most of the setup for my part in this first night, and the other 2 nights were partially and also fully clear. So the second night was like clear for I think 3 or 4 hours, which is plenty of time to do polar alignment, tilt adjustment, and all sorts of tests. And the last night was really used for imaging and doing just validation of the equipment, that everything works. Yeah, this one here is I think it is a Officina Stellare with a SBIG STL 11000, so old CCD camera, and a GM 2000, I think. I think the GM 2000 was the biggest 10 micron mount we had at the observatories. Yeah, this one here is a big surprise, or a big mystery for me, because I actually don't know what all this stuff is. I mean, it's a fork mount, but I don't know the brand, and yeah, I think it's an Astro Zip FM700. I had never heard of this brand, but it looks beefy, and the scope here is also pretty nice, which is being used in the primary focus. So it's basically like a RASA, I think, with a good old FLI camera. I think this one was the FLI 4040, the KAL 4040. Was it? Oh man, I actually can't remember that well, but it was a big FLI camera with a big sensor. And there are all sorts of weird things, like this this construction here. There's some things here were super weird. And this here was actually super funny, because this is the smallest setup they have, or at least they told us it's more on the smaller side. Yeah, pretty much the smallest they had, which was I think this is a 6-inch. Well, I mean, the smallest setup is like the telescope, or the setup size on top is pretty small, as you can see. I don't know what this is, honestly, but I think this is a 6-inch SCT. Yeah, on a Paramount Mighty. Yeah, here as well an EQ6. Super weird to see these mounts so commonly used. Might be an ASA scope, ASA scope. They had some ASA scopes. This one here, also on ASA mounts. Yeah, this one here. Oh, I think it is an ASA. This is similar to what I use. It's a prime focus nude with a coma corrector. Wow. Okay, that is pretty nice. And possibly to modify it for RC with a Nazimov or addition for a flat secondary. Looks like a 20-inch. Yeah, it could be. I mean, this one is pretty huge. I mean, you have the human here on the right for size comparison. You have this arm from Jose Luis, which was the technical assistant, which helped us a lot to set up everything. By the way, I think the telescope already, yeah, the telescope is already on the target. And it's already guiding. Yeah, it's already here. Let's increase the exposure time a bit. So, once again, for those that joined a bit later, I will do the Rosette Nebula tonight. Just HA. And maybe if the night stays clear, some more data on other filters. And yeah, one thing that is really, really weird is the guiding. I don't know why, but the guiding at the side is really inconsistent. It is not the mount because Sophie and Jens, my neighbors, they also have a CM70, basically the same setup on there, also perfectly polar alignment, and they have the same issues with guiding. It is super weird. I mean, the guiding is more than perfect if it stays in the 1 arcsecond area and has no very like big jumps up and down. I get perfectly sharp stars, but it is just weird to see because here in Germany at the observatory, especially with really good seeing, I had like 0.6 or lower like each night, and here it is more hit and miss. Yeah, the polar alignment, if you ask that, the polar alignment is basically perfect. I checked that like 3 times with PhD drift alignment, PhD, not PhD, Nina 3-star polar alignment, and also with sharp cap. So the polar alignment should be more than perfect, but yeah, it is just inconsistent, and I don't know why. But yeah, I don't care because it just works. Okay, so now it switched to the H-alpha filter, and then we'll start shooting. Okay, let's see some other images. So yeah, that was Jose Manuel, Jens and Sophie, and this one also was this one here. This scope here actually belongs to the founder of EI, which is Jose Luis. Yeah, it's a. I actually don't know what this mount is. It's also a fork mount, but it looks some sort of DIY, so pretty weird. Yeah, with a big whatever telescope this is. Wind pure shaking? I don't know. It could be. I really don't know because um, the guiding can be really good. I mean, I had a lot of nights so far that I had like 0.5, 0.6 guiding for like 1 or 2 hours, and then it started to go bad again. Yeah, I also thought that my focus of the guide camera was a bit off, but that is also unlikely because I like also double checked the focus in sharp cap, and I also did the 3-star polar alignment and also the Nina the sharp cap polar alignment, and you need to have sharp stars for that, so that's also not really possible. One thing I did to improve the guiding was just to increase the exposure time. So maybe that when the seeing is super, super bad, it just evens out with longer exposure times. But yeah, I just don't know. Maybe it calms down a bit. But yeah. So focus is running. Okay. More images. Yeah, this is definitely an Acer scope. Yeah. It was actually pretty cool to see all this super expensive equipment like for real and for the first time. It was also the first time seeing like a Paramount Mighty mount, which is actually not so huge. I thought it was a bit bigger, to be honest, but it's actually pretty, yeah, pretty comparable to the CM70, at least in my memory. So it's not a very big mount, but yeah, super expensive and not very good compared to the CM70, which has basically the same features. Yeah, I actually also don't know the mount here. I think it's like a ASA DDM, I don't know, 60 or 100. I don't know the naming scheme. But yeah, direct drive mount. Yeah, another GM2000 with a double setup. That was also pretty common here, just to have like a dual setup. It was pretty cool to see. Oh, what is this? I can't read the name on the telescope. I think, yeah, it's I think like a 80 or 100 millimeter refractor. On top here is a what seems to be a 150 or 140 refractor. Yeah, so here's some other area shots of the buildings. This one here is also pretty cool because this building here belongs to, oh, I forgot the name. It is the only thing I know is that this is a brand from UK, if I'm not mistaken, which has like the entire building full of telescopes, and you can you can rent the time on the telescopes and also get data from them. But I don't know the name of the brand. But yeah, this room was so packed with stuff. A lot of Acer mounts, some Paramounts, or not some, a lot of Paramounts, 10 microns, an L350, which is hooked up with a Planewave 14-inch, I think, at least from the size of it. Yeah, I think this one here should be a Paramount ME, I think. And all these ones are Paramount Mighties. They have a seeing monitor there? Actually, no. The only thing you can look up is the... let me see. Okay, the weather actually seems to getting worse. Yeah, I don't know. If you get like 1 hour, that should be fine. They have an all-sky camera and they have... Oh no, that was bad. And they have an SQM meter, and the seeing they link to the Meteor Blue website, which I think is not very accurate, to be honest, because the seeing we had on site when we were there was pretty shaky. But I think this could be a winter thing. I've heard that some places have better seeing in the summer, but yeah, I don't know. It is good enough for me, and yeah, the seeing last night was not so good. The SQM because of clouds, but the average SQM we had in the past 3 nights was between 21.4 ish and 21.5, somewhere in there, which is good. It's not perfect, but it is good enough. The peak SQM they had was like 21.8, I believe. So yeah, it is a border 3, scratching on a maybe on a border 2 at the zenith. So yeah, when you click on the seeing button here, just get a link to the seeing on Meteor Blue. Okay, I wanted to see the all-sky camera again. And it still is clear. The only clouds that are visible are here at the north a bit, but that's okay. And some here at the far horizon down to the west, but that is okay. Yeah, maybe we are a bit lucky and this gap here just stays above here. That would be nice. I think the first image should be already kicking. Yeah, and as you can see, the guiding, yeah, it is stable. That's a good thing. It is a stable and pretty smooth guiding. It's not flat. It's a bit jumpy, but it just hasn't it just has no like big up and downs, which is fine for my setup. So I'm happy with that. LSR seeing is definitely seasonal. Winter is blah at 1.8 to 3 arc seconds, but the summer's 0.7 to 1.5. Yeah, I think it is the same for EI, I think. Or it should be the same because they marketed this place with really good seeing, like below 2 arc seconds and sometimes going down to 1 arc second. And yeah, I think it would just be super stupid when they just do false marketing. Yeah, especially when you have like bigger scopes. Like even this scope here, I think it's a 10-inch. Yeah, it should be a 10-inch. I think even this scope will have seeing problems in the winter. if you don't have an adaptive optics unit. But I'm honestly not so familiar with adaptive optics and how they can really fix seeing, so yeah. This one here was also pretty interesting. This one was built from a Polish university, I think. It is a pretty weird looking construction. So these are all 6-inch Celestron telescopes, and they're all used to track and monitor the geostationary satellites, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, this one here is also interesting building with a, wow, I think it is a plane wave, maybe, and also some infrared telescopes. So they were slewing all over the place during our visit there, doing some infrared, I don't know, measuring signs, whatever, during the daytime, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and then we went into Apollo 3, and yeah, big old thing. I don't know what this brand is. Is it a AG Optical? Could be the AG Optical logo, which is I think this is also a CDK telescope, just like the plane waves, I think. Yeah. Also, what I found pretty interesting was that I would say 80 to 90% of the cameras used there was QHY cameras. Yeah, the other brands were Moravian and FLI, and ZWO was super rare, to be honest. ZWO was like, I don't know, in the bottom 5% or even lower. And also some older Attic CCD cameras. And yeah, that was cool to see like a other version of my setup with a SP100 on a GM1000. Yeah, other big scopes. And also I think this was not a Mighty. Oh, it could be, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, another QHY camera as well. Officina Stellare with a QSI camera, but I'm not sure which one this is. Could be 683 camera or something like that on an ASA mount. Back there, again, ASA mount. And yeah, and then back to my setup. The camera management is pretty bad. Well, it is not bad, but it is the best I could do. It was the only way to manage it. It was super bad. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that matters is that all the cables are at the telescope here on top and not hanging down there. The only cables that are going down are the Ethernet cable from the mini PC, and two other cables. Yeah, one more. Were there two cables? Oh yeah, the other cable was the cable to the mount, and the other one was from the Talon, which is the roof controller, to the computer up there, which is going down from the back of the camera with this long cable here. And then yeah, here we have mounted the very professionally with duct tape, or with tape, the cables for the parking sensors, which was pretty weird to do. Yeah, here you can see the parking sensors. We actually hot glued them because it is the easiest and also one of the safest methods, because when you have a lot of hot glue on there, this will never come off again. At least not by I would say unusual things. So you have to really want to get it off there to get it off. That was also pretty cool to see. Our neighbor was a plane with 14-inch with a SPX 1683, which is very huge. Yeah, it was just a beautiful and big setup. This was also doing like action all night. The first night we were there, it was slewing all over the place. Second night was also online, and in the second night it was also shooting. So pretty wild stuff. And yeah, you can see some images of the sky. I mean, the skies are good when you can see the let me just do a bit more aggressive stretch. When you can see all this H alpha detail here in a 10-second exposure at f2.8, then you know that the skies are decent enough to do some astrophotography. And yeah, here's some other shots. And I also did some time lapses, but I haven't edited or rendered them for now. So yeah, I will have to do that at some point. Okay, how's the exposure looking? Okay, the first exposure's done. And then now you can see the guiding is good again at 0.6. So it is super weird. We started with really inconsistent guiding, and now it is a bit smoother. Yeah, it works. That's the main thing. And yeah, let's zoom in a bit and see how it looks for a 10-minute exposure, H alpha. Not too bad. Let's see how the focus is. That's okay. It's definitely better than it was on my old configuration. Oh, not on my old configuration, with my old tilt settings when I was imaging with a setup in Germany. It's okay. It's not perfect, but it works. Maybe up the moon movement and lower the aggro for deck. Okay, let's do that. So, but maybe up the min movement. Let's do just 0.5 or 0.05 and lower the aggro. Yeah, let's do, I don't know, let's do 30%. I mean, the pole alignment is perfect, so we shouldn't see a lot of deck drift. And yeah, maybe this setting will work a bit better. But yeah, for a 10-minute sub, it's not too bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. I can show you something. Okay, let's update the weather forecasts here and see. Maybe not looking so promising. What's the view on the all-sky camera? Let's do 30 seconds. Do you operate the roof yourself? Yes, that's one big, yeah, I wouldn't say benefit, but it's a cool feature from the observatory here. Every spot, every pier has a own roof, which you can control with the Talent software here. So yeah, you can see the roof is 100% open right now. You can close it, yeah, and do all sorts of stuff. And that's also why we had to install the parking sensors. So when I hit close, just hypothetically speaking, when I hit close, the software will send a park command to the mount, and once the parking sensors on the deck and on the RA axis are aligned, then it will close the roof. If something happens and like the telescope, not the telescope, the program loses connection to the PC or something, then it just won't close. But yeah, I would say the risk of a disconnect is pretty unlikely. At least from what they told us, they never had issues with that. So yeah, it is pretty safe. So nothing can go wrong. The roof will only close when the mount is parked. So that's nice. I wonder if they are able to manufacture those style buildings cheaper for scale than the large roof style. Maybe. I don't know. But it is cool. I mean, you have to say it is pretty cool. And I actually think that, or at least they told us when we were there, that With this style of buildings, the customers will get a bit more clear skies because, yeah, the customer decides when to open the roof and when not. And maybe, I don't know, when the forecast says bad, sometimes they just leave it closed when you're at an observatory where the buildings are designed with one big roof. And here you can just say, oh, it's clear, let's go. Um, yeah, that's really cool that you can have that. What is also pretty cool with this is that when you're not imaging, your scope is protected from anything, from dew, from yeah, just from whatever. The only real thing that can happen is when your scope is actually doing something, which is actually pretty cool, I think, because when we were there, the humidity was pretty high, at least in the morning. In the first night when we imaged, it was pretty dry, but in the morning it got down to like 2 degrees Celsius, so it was cold enough for a lot of humidity and dew. And the plane wave at the other observatory, right next to us. Let me go back. Where is it? Come on, I'm blind. Yeah, this one. This one had the roof open all night and was doing stuff all night. And in the morning, the entire ground was wet, which actually isn't a problem. These buildings here are designed to yeah, to handle yeah, dew and all that stuff. So when the ground is wet, that's not a big deal. But it was really not shocking, but it was surprising to see because all the ground, when I would say, yeah, you can see it a bit better. When the roof is closed, you have this line here, and the line on the bottom here was just the edge of the what was just the edge of the dew. Everything below the roofs was dry, but just this box from the plane wave was super wet, at least on the bottom. The scope itself was dry, but the bottom was pretty wet. Yeah. The cool thing with one other cool thing, a feature you have when you build these scopes is to, yeah, have it oriented in two positions or parked in two positions. Let me just use this as an example. When you have the scope installed like this, you don't have to install any parking sensors or something because the roof will never touch the scope. I think from the top of the scope to the roof itself were another like 40 centimeters, I think. So yeah, the telescope would never reach the top, so it can be safely closed while the telescope is running. But the downside is that you have a much, yeah, you have much less of the night sky because, yeah, the mount is lower, the walls are higher, and then, yeah, we just have not a good view to the horizon. I mean, you shouldn't do too much astrophotography close to the horizon, but some objects are. I can show you how the sky looks down there with Stellarium. The sky down there allows us to do some stuff closer to the horizon, like um, let's say, I don't know, here the Dolphin Head Nebula, which is 20 degrees above the horizon, and yeah, I actually think when you have the scopes installed like this, you are not able to see it at all. So yeah, the second option was to set it up like our telescopes in like at a higher position, but the only position where the roof can close is at the park position sideways. So yeah, when the telescope is just sideways and parked, like this one here. Yep. Let's see how the guiding is. Yeah, as you can see, guiding is perfect. At least now. The deck axis doesn't move at all, so polar alignment is good. The only thing that moves is RA, but I don't know why it's going up and down like this. Yeah, but I don't care. It's good enough. Second image rolling in. And we have a bit more SNR because the skies got darker. How much will you have to pay monthly to host a telescope at EI? I can show you what they want to have from you. Let's open. Okay, let's just do a double check. Yeah, no clouds so far. That's good. No clouds so far. That is very nice to see. Okay, let's type in EI hosting. And then I think it was this site here. No, it wasn't. It was this here. Here. These are the prices for the telescopes. So, when you have an 8-inch telescope or smaller, you have to pay 315 euros plus 21% taxes, which is, I don't know, I think like 370 to 380 euros, I think, which is fair, honestly. I mean, when I see the prices on other remote hosting sites like in the USA or something, some start at like 800 or higher. Yeah, this is very, very fair. You can go cheaper. There are some other yeah, other hosting facilities that will only charge like 100 euros or something. But I don't know, when I have my expensive and hard working setup remotely somewhere very far away, I want to pay a bit more just to have the insurance that everything really, really works. I mean, when I pay 100 euros a month, I don't know if I could really personally um yeah, I think I can't imagine having a good feeling that my setup is there. Even when they have a good service and, I don't know, good reviews or something, I think 315 euros is more than fair enough. And personally, for me, it's worth the money and I can afford it, so it's not a big deal. And yeah, the amount of clear skies compared to what I get here in Germany is, yeah, it's worth the money. Yeah, when you go up in sizes, it just also raises the price. So I think the biggest one you can install is a 24-inch in these buildings. So that would be 525 plus taxes, which also is fair. I mean, when you can afford a 24-inch telescope with camera, mount, and everything, and it shouldn't be a big problem for you to spend this money per month. Honestly. Yeah. Some peers at SOs start at 2000. Oh no, not start. Some peers at SO are at 2000 or plus 2000. Yeah. If you have the money, nice. Crazy. Man, $2,000 a month. Wow, crazy. Yeah. Yeah, they also have some SQM readings here. I think the SQM reading here at this one was a 21.6 going up to the 22s. But I think sometimes the SQM reading is a bit weird. I don't know. Um, Here it says that they saw some readings as high as 22.7, but I mean, maybe I'm stupid, but does the scale even go higher than 22? But not but, because when I go to the light pollution map, the darkest you can find is a 22. So I don't know if this is a true measurement or something like that, maybe. But yeah, you can see the skies are good, so it's good enough. I have to go now, but I will probably come back. All right, have fun. Thank you, man. See ya in the future. Okay, let's refresh the all sky camera, and also let's have a look at the SQM reading. Oh, are these clouds down there, or is it just haze? Ugh. Maybe a misclick. Mach 22 is the max as far as I know. Yeah, it's the same for me. I think 22 is the max. Okay, they haven't refreshed the SQM so far, sadly. Yeah, but it seems to be a bit brighter today. Anyway, I'm doing H alpha. I don't care. Guiding runs good and smoothly. 0.7 is perfect for me. Overall, 0.7. Nice. That works. All right, what I wanted to show you is just a few other, or one other image that I'm working on right now. Let me open it in Peaks Insight. Peaks Insight. Peaks Insight. So, deep sky, objects. Markarian's chain. I did this 2 nights ago. Just over 4 hours luminance. And you can already see some like IFN or title stream stuff, which is pretty cool. Also here, I don't know if you can see it on the YouTube compression, but I can clearly see some IFN title stream thing going on, especially here, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, from a 100mm telescope, the detail is there. It's pretty good. I mean, this hasn't been deconvolved or anything. It's just the raw detail. It is so cool. That is pretty nice. Also, all these galaxies here. I think this one will be a pretty cool image when I'm finished. Yeah. You can have a look again at the M42 image if you want. Edit files, HDR, LRGB. Yeah, that was the image. Rotate it. No, not 180 degree. I'm bad. Let's do 90. Just to see some more. Yeah. The detailing here is also pretty nice. You can see the trapezium a little bit. The stars are not like resolved individually. They are still one piece, but it's cool to see that you can just see it. And yeah, the detail is there. I love this telescope. It's nice. And I also love the new filters that I have, the astronomic deep sky RGBs. They are so nice. They produce really, really nice stars. They have some halos, which is not the best. They had some more halos in the raw images, but they're easily fixable. And yeah, the other filters I had before, the Bada RGB filters, the old generation with the wider band passes, they really were not working well on my telescope, because I can show you when I compared the deep sky RGBs, and I compared this to the Bada LRGB, Bada CCD LRGB, here the band path is really, really wide with the blue filter. The astronomic filter just starts at about 420, maybe a bit later when you compare the peak to the bottom. And the old Bada filters, they opened up at like 380, so maybe 370. So I would say 50 nanometers more of blue, and yeah, that was enough to throw off my telescope in the blue filter. Yeah, which was not so nice to see. But yeah, these filters work nice. And yeah, I still have the Bada SHO filters in here. But yeah, they work they work nice enough. They work well. I actually want to fine tune the focus after this because it doesn't look to be really, really nice. At least here in the far edges. Okay, let's see if I can fix that. Let's stop that. Let's do H alpha, 10 seconds. Okay, let's go one step in. Let's see if it got better. It got far worse. Okay, then let's go 2 steps back. And see how it looks. Yeah, you can clearly see the focus is shifting. Okay, 2.03. Let's see if we can get it a bit better. Maybe a bit. Come on. 1.78. That's what I want to see. That's much better. Okay. Why is it doing an autofocus now? Can you skip that, please? Can you stop this autofocus, please? Come on! Then do your autofocus. Let's see if it can hit a good autofocus. Oh man. And we still don't see any clouds, which is nice to see. Let's see if the SQM has updated and also the all-sky camera. And this forecast here. Okay, that is actually interesting to see. I mean, down here at the south, you see Orion and all that stuff, but I don't see any clouds here, which is very interesting. Okay, what's the all-sky camera saying? Maybe I'm stupid, but I don't see clouds. Maybe here? Are these the clouds? I mean, it could be, because it looks a bit fuzzy on this side. But yeah, I mean, can stay there. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if it gets better or worse. Okay. Hello neighbor. Hello Jens Unger. Do I know you? I don't know. I don't know what you mean with neighbor. Wie geht's, mein Freund? We are doing some H alpha on the Rosette Nebula. And we are doing an autofocus now. Because Nina is stupid and it really wants to do an autofocus. Yeah. But one thing is that my guiding is good. And it has been good the entire time. Yeah, which is nice to see. 0.7 going, yeah, I mean, now it is 0.6, 0.7 range, which is Nice. Okay, autofocus is done. Let's hope that the focus is good as well. It doesn't look so perfect. Can I please do my manual adjustments here? I mean, yeah, that was a 10-minute exposure. But yeah, I want to see the corners. How is it? 2.67. Okay. .17. We are going in the right direction. Is your system running, Jens? Your sense of peace? Is it good? .81. That's good enough for me. And it starts nice. Maybe I should have been a bit more careful with these blue stars because they have some blue fringing now. At least it's visible. But yeah, the rest is pretty good. I mean, we can have a look at the raw files. Please select a working directory. All right, I will do that for you. Astrophotography processor. APP raw data. Let's open up the 300-second shots, or just all the raw images. Okay, so these are all the raw stacked files. Let's start with luminance. Yeah, this was the luminance channel with 180-second exposures. And the core is, yeah, the core is not blown out, but the trapezium area is blown out. So that's why I did 30 seconds for luminance as well. And especially for the RGB images, because for RGB I always do 300 seconds at gain 56. And there you can see that the core is more blown out. Anyway, this is the red filter, which is pretty cool. I mean, it looks even better, a bit more contrasty than the luminance. But well, it's an object dominant in hydrogen, so it makes sense that red is good. Let's see if green was also good. But well, all the filters were good. Yeah. In the red filter, I don't know why, but in the red filter you don't see any halos. I mean, maybe here, the brighter one? No, not even on the brighter stars you see halos. Oh, okay, you can see a slight halo here. But somehow on the green and in the blue filter you have halos on these filters. I really don't know why they have halos on these brighter stars. I mean, I really don't care because you just run StarNet and then you fix it. That's not a real issue for me, but I mean, when you pay 600 euros for an RGB filter set, I mean, you could yeah, expect some better halo performance. I mean, the cheap filters from Bala, they had no halos at all in the LRGB images. I mean, no halos at all is a hard statement. I think when you point to a really bright star, you see halos, but I mean, these stars are not very bright. They're just bright stars. Yeah, the blue filter had a bit less halos, I think. Yeah, the blue filter was good again. No, these were the Bada Deep Sky RGB filters. I bought them because now I have sharp stars in all my corners. With the old Bada filters, I wasn't able to get sharp stars across the image field with my SP100. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because the filters at the with the Bada filters, they open up in the blue channel a lot earlier. I just showed it, but I can show it again. When I search for the Deep Sky RGB filters and look at the bandpath and then compare it to the Bada CCD LRGB image filters, you see that the blue filter opens up at about 370-ish nanometers, and the astronomic filter opens up at 420. So it starts at 420 and maybe the peak is at around 425. So I have like 40 to 45 nanometers less blue light. And I think this is making a big difference, because now I have good stars in my blue filter. I mean, I still have, when I do an RGB combination, I still have some chromatic aberration with um, with these filters, especially when the blue filter is not perfectly focused. Come on, open it, please. Yeah, I think that the blue filters, or all the filters, were not 100% perfectly focused. But yeah, I mean, the most blue fringing I get is like this. And on the other filters, I had like entirely halos of purple and blue around brighter stars, which was really hard to deal with. And now it looks fine. I mean, the stars, except for like some shift in blue and red, especially going to the corners. But I mean, that's a refractor, and it's not a super expensive and very high performant refractor. So this is more than acceptable. And these days you can fix this very easily, even with Photoshop, and yeah, with Blur Exterminator, you can just one click fix it. Kafka blurs, yeah. I mean, with Blur Exterminator, all these blue fringing artifacts were gone. That's not really a big deal. But yeah, I really don't know why these green filters have halos. I don't know if they can have filters when something goes wrong in the manufacturing process. Maybe. But the bad thing is, I really had no time to test them. I mean, you have to imagine it like this. I got the idea of going remote. Let me just open this again to see if everything goes well. And it seems to go well. About 1.5 months ago, I had the idea to go remote, because I was so frustrated by the clouds. I mean, this winter we had, what we have right now, is probably the worst winter in terms of clear skies I ever, or at least I ever remember, as far as astrophotography. And I've just wanted to have more clear skies, and I had the idea of going remote like the past year. I sometimes I was like, huh, remote is nice. I want to do this at some point, but I don't know. I want to have my setup here, so let's do this in the future. And now I really wanted to. I mean, especially with the projects, I have so many like 100-hour projects in mind, which I really don't want to yeah, I really don't want to spend the time here in Germany with the bad weather. I really don't want to. And yeah, going remote was the only real option for that. We can check the weather forecast. So, I mean, the weather forecast, especially now in the winter for the remote side, is not perfect. I mean, if everything goes well, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 clear nights forecasted in this time span here. And when I go to my place here in Germany, I have this, which is not bad. I mean, we had like four weeks of only this row here, just everywhere. No single cloud leak or yeah, just no time with clear skies. But yeah, here should be way better. Where was I? I think I said something and I honestly forgot it. Fuck. Yeah, just wanted to show the sky again. So when this is the winter night sky, when I just go to darken the sky a bit more. This is the winter. Is my camera off? Okay, my Sony camera died, so we have to accept it that the stream is now without face cam. I don't want to change the battery now. I'm sorry. So I can turn off the camera for now. I didn't want to start this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, can I please close you? Thank you. Okay. 1 second. Okay. So yeah, this is the sky we have down there. You can actually see the zodiacal light, which is pretty nice. So when we were there, in the first night, you could actually see it. Not like this bright, but you could see that it is there, which is pretty nice. And it also stands for good skies, so yeah. The Orion constellation is like when we go to the zenith, which is right here. For the Orion constellation, it is at a elevation of 45 degrees and higher, which is really, really nice. You can see the Dolphin Head Nebula down here, which I can see from Germany, but not really, really, really nice, because the Dolphin Head Nebula in Germany would be like down here maybe, so not very nice. In 1 month time, you will get more stable weather and clear skies. I hope so. I really hope so. And also high. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. And also really cool when we go to the summer. Oh, let's go like to May. You can see the Milky Way core rising. Also pretty high. The Lagoon Nebula is going to hit 27 degrees in elevation, which is pretty high. I mean, in Germany, the core would be more down here also, so it's nice. I mean, I can get, I would say, 2 to 3 hours, depending on my threshold of how good I want the data to be, on the Lagoon Nebula, which is pretty cool, and also on the Rho-Fuki area and everything on top of it. Everything below that, so let's say these two nebulae. I mean, it is possible they are at 15 degrees for, I would say, 2 hours per night, but it is not nice to capture these, and I don't want to. I mean, I'm a person that only really wants to shoot it yeah, at an elevation where the targets make sense. So when I want to capture this, I go to La Palma or I go to Namibia. So yeah, this is not an option. Everything below 20 degrees, I think, is not very, very interesting for me. But yeah, it's really, really nice. The Cygnus the Cygnus region is also getting pretty high. Yeah, just looks nice. Okay, so the image should be done by now, and let's see how the stars are. Okay, The stars are not good in the corners, but okay. The thing is, I know that my back focus and tilt is pretty much perfect because the stars at the luminance filter are perfect in all corners. I mean, I can show it to you here again in the luminance channel. When I hit the focus perfectly and go from corner to corner, you can see that all my stars are round. So, I mean, it is maybe not 100% perfect, and it also depends on how I focus the telescope, but it is more than good enough for me. And yeah, so tilt and back focus is I would say in a good enough and really really good state. So I think that the filters maybe have some problems because I really have these issues only with the narrowband filters. You're planning to do full narrowband projects, or you're moving to Galaxy Season LRGB? I'm doing both. I mean, now I will do, or at least as long as the winter constellations are up, I want to do some stuff with them. And actually, right now here you can see I'm capturing the rosette, and I have programmed my sequence to do SHO, H alpha 03 S2 for 60 times 40 times 600 seconds for all three filters, and then I will also collect some RGB stars, which I have disabled for now because I want to do narrowband tonight. Yeah, but the other thing is, yeah, I will definitely go to Galaxy Season LRGB and also LRGB H alpha. Hint, hint. Yeah, I have some pretty crazy projects in mind, and one project is, let me show it to you. Let me open it on the second screen. So I have to open this website here, and then I have to open this image, and now you see this image. This is one big goal I have for the Galaxy season. The Markarian's chain with H alpha. Especially the H alpha connections between these galaxies here. I really want to show them. Yeah, also this galaxy here has also some H alpha outbursts, I think. Yeah, and especially, yeah, all over the place you can see some H alpha floating around in the background, which is pretty nice. I honestly don't think that getting sleepy already. I don't think that this H alpha or everywhere in this image is 100% real. I think some, maybe, I don't know. I mean, this image is from Russell Croman, and Russell is pretty good at image processing. But I think that some of these H alpha regions in the background are artifacts. Maybe. I mean, I think this is probably one of the only images showing this, so I have no comparison. But yeah, if you want to spend 75 hours for H alpha, then you can go for it. And that's actually what I want to do. I'm stupid, but I love it. I mean, when I have like, I don't know, 15 to 20 clear nights per month or even more, maybe, especially when Galaxy season is getting better weather, I have plenty of time doing that. I mean, I can get all the H alpha exposures I need to identify H alpha in the image in like 1 week, maybe. So that's nice. And I also want to search for some O3 data in here. So my initial plan for this here is to go with like 20 hours on LRGB, maybe a bit more, because there's also a lot of IFN and just like stellar streams from all these different galaxies here. I want to show them, and then I think I have set my sequence to do I think 30 hours of HA and O3, and I will first collect both of these, and then I will see if I continue, because I mean, when you do 30 hours of exposure time on H alpha and then you stretch it to hell with all the different processing, continuous subtraction, whatever, just to see if there is anything in there. And when you see something after 30 hours, then you can say, oh, okay, maybe we can do a bit more. But when you see nothing, then it's not worth the time for me. But I think that it is going to work because Russell spent 75 hours with a Takashi 106 ADX4 with, I think he's using the telescope at the native focal ratio at f5. So I'm actually a bit faster with f4.1. So I would, I don't know, save like at least 10 to maybe 20 hours from the focal ratio advantage alone. And I don't know, maybe his processing was not the best. I mean, his processing is good, but maybe there could be some optimizations to it. But the only thing that would really make me happy would be these connections between these galaxies here. There are some other Markarians chain H alpha. There are some other images showing this. I mean, yeah, that is not really fair when you have really crazy data. I mean, what is this data? What is this? Ah, yeah, this image was taken with amateur equipment. And Mark Hansen, yeah, this was from Mark Hansen. So it is possible to see it. Maybe there are other images of it with H alpha. I don't know. Or maybe we could see if Astrobin has some images. And you can also see if this is still running. Seems to work, and also the skies are still clear. But it is, I think, a bit more hazy in this night. Or maybe it is just a stretch. I don't know. I mean, we can adjust the dark point a bit. You can definitely see all the light pollution from down there, from Fregenal de la Sierra, I think. Is the light pollution. Maybe Sevilla, but I think Sevilla is a bit more to the left here. So yeah, this is just some light pollution. Anyway, narrowband is the way to go for tonight. We can update the all-sky camera and also the SQM and see if anything happened there. Okay, the all-sky camera looks good and clear, but it really is not that good tonight. The transparency and the just the transparency is not really good. What's the weather doing here? Okay, I mean, the observatory is like here maybe, so there is still some room, but it is also not really coming closer that fast. Yeah. Anyway, the subs look good. Maybe not really good. I mean, I don't know if this is a really good sub for 10 minutes. Maybe it could be better. But I don't know. I don't know. And these stars, they are not so good. Let me see if I can adjust the focus a bit more. Okay, I have a 1.75 HFR. Okay, maybe this fixed the stars a bit more. I mean, I don't care about the stars because I will use RGB stars anyway. I will never do I think I will never do an SHO image with the narrowband stars. I will always add RGB stars, I think, because yeah, it's just the best way for me to get a good looking image, for my taste at least. Okay, what was I looking up again? The SQM hasn't changed. The all-sky camera, the daytime all-sky camera is frozen for some reason. But then the night sky camera here in the black and white version still is looking good. Okay. Okay, I wanted to check Markarian's chain. And we have 33. And let's see for the exposure time. Okay, this looks interesting. Okay, that is nice. 100 hours. The QHY695A. What is a QHY695A? Sony ICX CCD sensor, I think. Technical informations. Ah, okay, it's this 6 megapixel sensor. So not very good. Very noisy, probably. I mean, it's CCD, so it's not perfect. With a Sky Rover 70SA. What is this? What is all this? Oh, what is this brand? It looks interesting. Nice. AliExpress. Currently unavailable. Sad. Here's my little review. And then let's see. Cool. All the links are not working perfectly. Then I don't want to know about the telescope. No, it looks noisy. Looks noisy and there's no H alpha in it. Oh, that's from Sophie. 22 hours. You can see some of the IFN in the background. Yeah, probably one of the best images from the Markarian's chain with all the IFN is still the one from Fabian Neyer. When we go down here, I mean, this luminance image is so good. Yes, Sony CCDs are cleaner than the old Kodaks. That's true. And Fabian Neyer, such a good astrophotographer. It's so sad that he's not very active on like social media and also not doing a lot of images lately. But when he is doing images, bruh, then he's doing the best. I mean, this image was May 2011. Imagine getting this image in May 2011. I mean, it was possible back then, obviously. But to get this quality is crazy. I mean, there are so many. I think there are a lot of astrophotographers that started this like 20 years ago, and they did super amazing images like on the quality that we are doing today, but they are just not very well known. I mean, I have so many astrophotographers and websites from astrophotographers like here Distant Lights from Thomas Henne in Austria. I think he has no Astrobin and no social media like Instagram or something, but his images are just some of the best in the business. Like especially his newer images. I mean, what the hell? This is perfect. Look at the sharpness. This is so stupid how good it is. But yeah, Fabian Neyer, he's the GOAT. He is one of the best. Such good images. Also 2015 with an old CCD camera at f7.2. Help me. And 50 hours of exposure time. This guy is so stupid. In a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way. Also this image here. I think this image here is his best image ever from the Sunflower Galaxy with also 50 hours of exposure time. It's really crazy. This is stupid how good it is. I also want to do this galaxy season. But I obviously have a much wider field of view. And I already collected some data on it back like 2 months ago. M63, APP, test luminance DBE. Yeah, nothing special. I mean, I'm much wider, but you can already see the tidal stream in I don't know 39,000 360. Yeah, I mean this is just 1 hour, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's just 1 hour, and you can already see tidal streams. it is so stupid. And you can see this nebula blob up here on the left, and I think there is a lot of IFN stuff going on in the background. Yeah, lots of stuff to discover and lots of small galaxies and galaxy pairs and galaxy clusters in the background. Yeah, I think when I get like also, I don't know, 30 hours in LRGB on this, it will look pretty nice. I mean, it is not very common to see such wide field of view images of galaxies. I mean, most of the people will either crop in or just get a telescope with longer focal lengths. All right, let's see if it still runs. Man, guiding a 0.56. This is perfect. Nice. Wow, now it is really smooth. That's what I want to see. That's really what I want to see. 0.5 all night. Nice. And still no clouds. This is also pretty nice. Okay, the image is done in 1 minute, and then we see if the focus is a bit better. Anyway, if you have some more questions, like for the equipment or in general of like remote photography stuff, then just ask, and I will try to answer everything. Okay, 10 seconds to go. Let's see how it looks then. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and downloading, stretching, and okay, that's much better. Yeah, now the stars are sharp again. The right corners are still not really, really awesome, but it works. It works. They're round enough for me. And yeah, the HFR rating is much better. I mean, it's going down to 1.8 now instead of 2. Yeah, the detail is there. This is so cool. But I honestly don't know if a 10-minute exposure on H alpha should look like this. I mean, I would imagine it to be cleaner, to be honest. I would imagine it to be cleaner. But well, maybe after stacking it is better. I mean, we can check. Let me upload the first images to the Dropbox. And then we can stack them and see. I mean, we have 1 hour now, so that should give us a good look. Okay, 4 images are already synced. 5. Okay, nice. So let's have a look if it really looks nice. Let's go to Dropbox, EI remote data, session fits, and see how it looks on my screen here. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. It really is not bad. But the stars, oh, that really was not very well in focus. That was not very nice. But it is okay. It is okay. Okay, so let's add flats. Or should we add flats and bias? Yeah, come on, why not? Deep Sky, CF, Glitch Y, EI flats, masters. Oh, I haven't added the narrowband flats yet. Okay, I don't give. I don't care. Yeah, I mean the stars, they are not terrible. They, I mean, it is probably the best I can do with these filters and with this telescope. I mean, I think when I have better filters, it could get better, maybe. I mean, I have the perfect, or I think it is more or less the perfect back focus and also a really good tilt adjustments. Because when I do a perfect focus on my luminance filter, I have very nice stars in all corners and also in the center. I have very nice, um, yeah, just an even flat field. But with the H alpha filter, I don't know what the problem is. I never had very good stars with the H alpha filter on my old setup. Not on my old setup, on the setup when I had it in Germany here. So this is actually a bit weird to see why it is so bad. I wonder if I could get it better if I do a bit more manual adjustment. You know what? Let's scrap this 4-minute exposure and do another adjustment on the focus. Because I just want to have better focus. And I really don't know why the autofocus had trouble to get perfect focus. I mean, on the LRGB images it works. 1.69 is the HFR now. So, okay, now it looks good. Well, maybe I have to delete these 4 images. Yeah, the detail is in there. That is nice to see. But yeah, as I say, these stars, they are not so good. Hallo Marina. Hola. How are you doing, Marina? Let's see how much we have in here. Okay, no, we have to do this in PixInsight. Session fits. Adastas. That's the file name. Adastas. Let's run a blur exterminator. Where is it? No, not blink. A blur exterminator. Looks good. Oh, I really hope that the stars are getting better now. But I think they should because the HFR is going down even more. But man, look at this guiding. Wow. 0.4. This is some solid guiding. Wow. I have to do a screenshot of this. This is very, very sweet. Okay, let's see if... Yeah, I mean, it fixed the stars a little bit. I mean, it completely fixed them in some cases, which is good to see. And how are these details looking? Ah, that is nice. That is very nice. What do you mean this is undrizzled data and not calibrated data? So it could look even better. And especially when I have the what is 40 times 600 seconds is 6 hours only? No. 40 times 600. Well, 24,000 times 60. No, 6.6 hours. Okay, I thought it would be more. But well, I think 6 hours is plenty of exposure time. Let's do a noise exterminator on it just to see how it could look. Yeah, that is nice. I personally wouldn't complain about this. And it's also just screen transfer function. Let's stretch it for real. Histogram transformazione. Yeah, this should be good enough to see. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's just 1 hour exposure time, undrizzled, uncalibrated. So nice. Rosette is a really challenging narrowband target for processing. Can't wait to see your version. Yeah, I honestly have never really processed like HOO and honestly never SHO images. I have one image of my old Rosette data, Rosette Nebula. Maybe I've deleted it already. I don't know. Do I have it here? Flamesa, Cocoon. What's the IC number? Rosette Nebula. What's the number? NGC22. Maybe I'm blind or I have already deleted the data. I think I've already deleted it. Yeah, I've only edited my old dual narrowband image of the the Rosette, and it was not so good. But I have some ideas how I will bring my version to life in SHO and also RGB. So yeah, let's see how it looks in the future. Okay, how far in are we with the first exposure with the better focus? 6.2 minutes. Okay. Okay, I would say we'll have a look at this image, and if this looks good, I will just let it run and do something else, because now it's more or less just waiting, and it's not so super interesting for the stream. Yeah. Okay, so we can close this, and we can also delete this data here, and just delete this because I have it on the remote PC. Close this. Let's see how the forecast is. Fregenal de la Sierra. Oh, we are at the edge of the clouds, but I can't see them. I can't see the clouds. I should see the clouds here, but I can't see them. I can't see them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, guys, you have no idea how lucky, not how lucky. Sometimes I find the wrong words today. How happy I am about this guiding. Oh, this is so perfect. Oh, it's so nice to see that the guiding finally works how it should work. 0.5 for the past, I don't know, 400 pulses, and I'm doing 4-second exposure, so I don't know, for the past half an hour. I have perfect guiding. Oh, I love it. I really, really love this. Give me more. Please give me more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Diddlin. Just got a message from my neighbors that their guiding is also very nice. So yeah, it really is seeing dependent how good the guiding is. 0.57, more than good enough. More than good enough. Okay, 20 seconds to go, and when this image looks good, then I will be just sitting here enjoying some YouTube videos or something, maybe some Netflix, and then I will go to bed soon. Okay. Alright, let's see how the stars are. Well, these are some sharp stars, man. Finally. Wow, I don't know what I've done in the earlier shots, but these stars are sharp now. What the fuck? Like before I had completely misfocused everything. These are sharp now. Wow, okay. But I think I won't delete all the earlier files because I need this signal. And the stars they were not terrible, and yeah, I mean you can still use them for stacking. And when I have 40 images to stack, then these 5 or 6 images with not perfect focus will just be weighted less or lower. So yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, nice. All right, then I will end the stream for now. Thanks for all the guys. Thanks for all of you that joined and passed by to say hello. Yeah, so I will probably do this a lot more in the future, or I hope so, especially with other targets, other events maybe. So yeah, have a good night.